Hey, what's up everyone? Today we're going to do Blue and Yellow Queen from OP04. Why does it feel like every single deck in this format is a nightmare to play against and extremely rage-inducing? Is that just me, or does it feel very frustrating to play against almost every single deck? That could be a sign of good game design, probably. But like every deck is just so frustrating. Oh my goodness. Anyways, let's get into it. So basically the point of this deck is you can heal if you have a character with 8 or more on the field. So when attacking, you can either draw one from the top of your deck or heal by putting the top of your deck on your life. So basically you just kind of infinitely heal yourself over and over and over and over again every single turn, and then you bottom deck every single thing in their deck over and over and over again until they basically have no resources left to play with, and you've eventually earned a net positive, and then through one of your triggers, most likely going off, you will gain the advantage. So this deck is really annoying. It's got quite a lot of blockers, as you can see. It's really strong, and it's really fun. So let's get into the actual deck. So we have 4 9-cost Mihawks. On play, place a character with a cost of 7 or less to the bottom of the deck. Really irritating. We've got 4 3-cost Dofis. Search and place the cards wherever you want. Same thing with Perona, just a little bit early game help. We have 3 Soga Kings, return a 6 or less, and then draw 2, trash 2. 3 10-drop Kaidos, return an 8 and a 3 to the hand. 4 1-cost Laws, because we want as many blockers as possible, and 1-cost blockers are OP, especially in Mass. 4 Trigger Boa Hancocks, because she's a trigger blocker, which is insane in this deck. 4 8-cost Katakuris, because he heals you or removes problem cards that your opponent may have. 4 Capones, because he's the most annoying trigger in the game and also a 2k counter. 4 Sanjis, because he's an insane trigger and also just a really good blocker. 4 Brulés, because she's a trigger and a blocker. Do you see a theme here? 4 3000 Worlds, because it is really annoying and OP. And then we've got 6 Red Rocks, because we don't want to run out of those, do we? So you can see the theme is basically stall your opponent out, send everything to the bottom of the deck, eventually gain a net positive advantage from all the nonsense that you're doing to them, and then slowly milk out the game until you win. Because if they only have 1 or 2 characters to attack with swing into you every single turn, which they should, because you should be returning everything to the hand or the deck, it is the most frustrating and biggest problem for them. It's almost just like playing against Crocodile, but this one somehow feels worse. I don't know how to explain that. Really good deck. If I get stalled out in locals by it, I'm going to be a little bit upset. I may be playing it at some point though. It's really good and really fun. Anyways, let's get into the gameplay. Okay, going into the queen gameplay here, my opponent is going to choose turn order. They choose to go second. I don't find any ones, Baronas in my hand or anything like that, so I pass. This hand is looking fairly atrocious, but also really toxic. On the one hand, I don't really have anything to put on the board for 2 turns, but on the other hand, I can just return everything he has to the bottom of the deck, so even trade-off. And I don't mind taking a life in this deck either, so I don't mind. Oh, great top deck there, Katakuri. Couldn't really ask for anything worse at the time. 8 to leader, blocks with Capone, and I pass. Hoping I get a trigger in my life here if he attacks me. Assuming he will. I don't think I'll block it because those Sanjis are pretty cool to have. Ooh, well, at least it's a playable card, you know? Silver linings. So, I believe that's a double attack promo kid, it is. So, more than likely just gonna get that thing out of here. Don't want it doing any shenanigans. Can Kid reset any Kid, or is it just the leader? I need to find my leader and look at that. Huh. That'd be insane if it could be any Kid and he just fucking resets it with double attack. That'd be really unfortunate. So he attacks 5 into me again. Decide to counter with 6 this time. Don't want to lose too much too fast. This is a stall deck after all. But that being said, I don't mind getting to low life. Just not quite yet. Going to bottom deck his blocker, just for a little bit of toxicity. Attack with 6, and then I'm gonna Perona and Law and pass. So I see Sogeking, and you know, he returns everything. So I figure, might as well try my hand at getting my hands on one of those. And just whatever he puts on the board, I'm gonna yeet off once again. And it's just really unfortunate that there's not much he can do about it. He puts Basil on board, I draw Sogeking. I also have enough for Mihawk. So I just go for the Mihawk so I can start doing Queen's Wind attacking ability faster. So whenever I have an 8 or higher on the field, I can choose to heal myself or draw life. No, sorry, heal myself or draw a card. And I believe my hand and my life has to be a combined 4 or less. Pass to him, he draws Dawn. Still nothing on the board, that's just how oppressive this deck is. And because of how, like, it doesn't mind going to late game and actually thrives in the late game, he's in some real big trouble here. I mean, he KOs my level 1 blocker, which has me shaking in my boots a little bit. He attacks with 5. And I hit the Sanji trigger, so I'll probably just discard the other one in my hand to play it. Yep, Sanji for a Sanji. Sounds like a good trade-off. I have another body on board, and it's even a blocker, so don't have to deal with any nonsense. Now that is a level 7 blocker, which is annoying, because Sogeking can't just get rid of it, but I can get rid of the killer right away, which is still annoying in and of itself. So, unfortunately I do trash my Katakuri there, but I think it was worth it for the double block. And now I can either draw 1 or gain a life. And I'm not really in any danger right now, so I'm going to choose to draw a card. Opponent takes the hit for 1, plays a killer on trigger, and I think I'm just going to double Law, pass. Don't want my Mihawk getting killed or anything like that, because I need an 8 or higher on the field. So if he has like any big body like that, like the Kid for instance, I'm probably not going to attack with the Mihawk just to be safe, to keep my little cheese strat going here. 6 to life. Take it and hit the trigger for another blocker. Yeah, so this is pretty much the ideal scenario for me. Just kind of doing a bunch of nonsense with triggers and blockers, and he can never really hit me. And then I'm returning everything. So Perona here is really good. And I see I have a 3000 Worlds up next, which I'm very happy with. Going to attack life, and then draw the 3,000 worlds. He blocks immediately, meaning, I think he should have taken that one, probably. So now I'm probably going to just try to all into that kid because it's really annoying. And I'm not in any real danger of the Mihawk being destroyed anytime soon because I've got 2 blockers on the field. So yeah, just going to all in to the kid, make sure he's dead. And attack with 8. A little bit overkill, but not like it mattered anyway. Probably could have even attacked with Sanji there if I wanted to be a little bit more aggressive, but better to stay on the safe side with this deck always. I think better to stay on the safe side with this game in general. It's really never worth taking the risk. I almost always just take the L for it. Summons another blocker kid and passes. And that card is pretty annoying. I don't have any removal left, but I have so many bodies on the field, I don't think it really matters right now, and I'm just going to start healing life every turn as well. So it's going to be quite the ordeal for him. He blocks immediately, meaning he probably has no counters in the hand. I don't know why he was blocking right away. I feel like he should have taken a life or 2, because once he blocks, I'm pretty much free to all in. He has no cards in hand. And I'm gonna take out the kid with Perona, just so I don't lose any of the cards I don't want to. And then 10 to life with Mihawk. At this point, if he's killed, it's probably fine, because I think I've got game next turn, regardless. No trigger this time on the life. He draws. Attaches one to that guy. I think that gives him like plus 2,000 power. So he's probably at like 6 or 7 right now. I don't know if you have 3 or more characters, which he does not. Unlucky. So he attacks with 5. I block with Boa, because no real reason not to at this point. I think it's dawned on him that he's lost at this point and he just can't take the reality. Attacks with 5, I counter with 6. Summons Law and resets, and then I hit a Trigger Brûlée, which is pretty picture perfect for this deck. That's kind of exactly how you want it to go. Trigger blocker, trigger blocker, trigger blocker every single time. Top deck Capone, and at this point he has no blocker, and I have all of the characters that can attack, and I'm just gonna keep swinging and swinging and swinging until he has no cards left, and then I'm gonna surprise him with Mihawk the second he takes a life. Not really a surprise, but more of a jump scare. Not much you can do about it either. So he counters again. Still have Sanjay. Wow. It's been a long day. So Sanjay takes the last life, and then Mihawk is going to finish it. And that's pretty much how the deck works. It's just a bunch of stalling and nonsense, and it's pretty fun. So if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.